Alright, welcome back to the video today. I was a busy stripper stripping this car down. I got the rear trunk off, I got all the doors off, the windows are out, it is stripped down, and part of it is still metal. And with the bare metal, I don't like that because, I buy cheap primer that's gray, but I buy the expensive rattle can with a little etcher in it. So, I take my expensive etching rattle cans, and I prime the whole thing. You can see it's all brown, looks like a giant black and brown turd, and it looks much better as you go. The blue is just so the paint doesn't go through to the red I just painted. Stupid little things I didn't think about. But everything is all primed up, ready to go. I think she's looking real nice. I got, spots here and there that I've had to do. I tried to get every bare piece of metal anywhere that had a little bit of rust, or where I put the rust converter on. I tried to spray it with this as an added layer of over anxious amounts of paint and primer because of all the rust I did have. I didn't want this to rust again right away, and I figure the more layers of paint and chemicals and garbage I put on it, the better it will look. Now I got all of this ready to go, but you can see all the seams that we've sealed on the bottom are now on the top. So I gotta take this is where I'm gonna paint. Anyway, I gotta take all of this and seam seal it. So I went through every crack, everything that you could imagine I ever welded on or did or touched, and I seam seal it. And this whole entire back piece, I just seam sealed it like Bondo. But wanted to make sure everything was sealed up, everything was nice, everything's gonna seal nice and look right and be good. I really didn't want to screw this up right off the bat. I ran out of seam seal that night. I did go get more. But you can see up here, all the seams stand out. Everything looks nice. Everything is white striped, rusted primer. And when I put this on, I kind of smash it into the crack to make sure the cracks are sealed. It's really nasty. But once you get it all seam sealed, you become a chem lab right here at my stuff. Like, oh, no, not enough. It smells terrible. Look at this mask. Get over here. Anyway, so I'm mixing up my primer. I don't know what primer I got. I don't really care. It worked. It was nice. I'm learning how to paint, learning how to mix, learning I still have the wrong mask filters on because I'm an idiot. Can't even find my stick. Oh, there it is. And here you go. So look at my multitasking, tightening this thinner and stirring. Kid making fun of me. Oh yeah, I'm cool. And, well, I don't want to show you mixing the paint too long, so I painted the firewall. And I was like, ooh, that looks so pretty. And so I skipped the middle so I could get in and get the back. So I did the front and the back. And you can see how much nicer it looks when it goes gray because all the seam seal lines are gone. The back dash is gray. And so you have gray and red and all kinds of primers and stuff on this. But look how much nicer it turned out. I forgot to do the whole trunk middle, so I got to fight floating over the trunk. But that's important, not important. So all the gray is going down. It's looking real nice to me. And I just didn't do the center and the front, but, I'll show you again because I'm so excited with this. But now that I've done the center, you can see it. Look at it. Right there. It's all gray. So my entire floor is now primed. I'm an idiot. I will never paint just part of the car again. See how I stopped on the A and B and C pillars? That's because I'm an idiot. I should have primed the entire thing right then. But I'll show you later in the video how I primed it later. Like an idiot. But now that I did all the priming, guess what I get to do? This is no longer primer. So all of the inside of the car, underneath where rocks are going to hit, all that stuff, single stage. Because I'm not sanding, I'm not clearing, I'm just laying it on a giant rattle can. So here it goes. Paint, 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 paint away. And look at me sitting down on the job. But I love watching the paint go on over the primer because I don't know about you guys, but I don't like to watch paint dry, but I love to watch it go down. Watch right here. Instant red. Instant red. I want to make the sound effects for you. Ready? Now you feel better? So after I got the firewall painted, I do a little bit here and there. Making sure I tried not to miss anything. And then look at me laying on the job. I mean, Basically, I'd have gotten fired from anyone else. One, the painting is terrible, and two, I'm lazy laying down in my car. Fighting an air hose is so much fun. Sticky. The more you get in here, the stickier it seemed to get with all the paint overspray going everywhere. You can see my temporary shop lights on the roof of the car if you really are observant and care. And I'm going to switch up a bunch of positions for you. Ready? Now I'm on my knees and stuff spraying the back dash. Da, da, da. So pretty. I love watching all this paint go on. So you're going to have to watch poor painting by an old man in a car. Well, middle-aged old man. He's around 30-something, 40. I don't know how old he is in this picture. How old am I? I don't know. Anyways, everything's going good. Switch up positions for you so you don't get too bored of the camera angle. But I tried to literally paint everything. And why? I don't really think it's important. I could have primed it and walked away, but you wouldn't have gotten that beautiful shot right there. The just changing of the color. There's another one coming. Ready? Ready? Just enjoy. It's going to come. And look at that. Just instant color change. It's so awesome to watch. I could watch this sort of stuff all day. I hope you guys want to watch this crap all day because I made it and I'm sharing it with you so you can see it too. So now that you see me painting my amazing skills, I'm getting more comfortable with the gun. I'm striving to spray in these weird areas. I got paint everywhere, all over, everything painted. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure I was craving chips after all this because the mask is wrong and saturated again. Here's my trunk, and it's kind of boring, but look at this. I was praying that this would come out right. Look at me on my knees. So I got everything going good, getting every nook and cranny of this entire car painted up, painted. This video has a whole bunch of painting, so get used to me going, ooh, look at that. Ooh, just like that. See it going from primer to red. And then you'll never see this. Even if I show you my car today, you will never see any of this paint. It gets covered with sound deadener and carpet and all kinds of stuff. So it's just there to stop rust and for me to build some skills and to make a cool video of showing primer turn red like that and that. All this stuff's so beautiful. So you get to watch as this gun paints and paints and paints. And how did you not like that? Right there. Look at that. Gray, red. Beautiful. And so I paint this car. This whole process took weeks because I did this and then I would do that. And then I'd do this and I'd do that. And so the actual painting, I primed it gray in the morning and red in the afternoon. See me on the passenger side. Inside the doors, I mostly just wanted to get good paint on stuff for rust prevention and stopping. Oh my goodness. The red just looks beautiful. I can't wait to show you the rest as we keep going. So, this was one of my favorite clips ever that was recorded. I mean, look how beautiful that is. I can see my reflection as I lay down, and the paint was flat straight down, so it actually laid out nice. Oh my goodness. That hat alone is, I don't know how I don't have so many people just being like, wow, he's so beautiful, look at his hat. But either way, the hat kept my hair from being painted in, and it was just amazing. Ready? Getting down, holy pants, and red. Look at my reflection of the gun. Oh, now look at the whole car. So I didn't make you watch the whole thing getting painted, but 90%. I put 2 or 3 coats of paint on everything, and just like I said, to stop rust, I tried to get everywhere. I was all over this car, everywhere I could get in, everything I could do, tied into the original paint job, put a little extra on it, I think even. So now I have the entire body under, firewall down, painted, everything's red that's red, right? Yeah, that's the right words. So, with everything red that's red, I hope you can read into this that soon I gotta do other parts of the car, right? You know, hood, fenders, things like that. So I gotta get this thing out of the way. So, With this all ready to go, you can see here, and then I think I'm going to go jump back here and into the trunk. Look at all the red everywhere against the black. Oh, doesn't that just scream beautiful to you? If it does, comment beautiful. And if it doesn't, comment ugly. And then I'll be like, oh, you judgmental punks. Another troll on the internet. Either way, I don't care. I just want to see what you guys think. I love the red. I love how it's come out. And I love that it was single stage and it laid down and it was good. Now, with the red all done, it's time now, a couple weeks later, to do the white. And the white went on. I basically taped off all the red, taped my lines, did all this fancy stuff to try to make it be right so that I could paint this roof. And that's my overhead dash stuff. And yeah, so then you can see how the roof looks right here. It's all gross. And this is, once again, not necessary in any way, shape, or form to get the whole roof. But I'm learning how to paint, and I'm thinking no rust on my ceiling and good adhesion. So I paint the door jambs. This primer, gray primer now, is going on everything. Yeah, look at me. No hat this time. I had almost cut my hair when I was done. It was so full of garbage. Ah, look at that. Just laying on paint. Lay it on there. All the paint. Paint everything. And then look at me almost falling over with no abs left. I don't really have a good abs, so I fall over all the time. Adjusting the gun like a professional. Adjusted. Watch that. Look at it. Here I go. Painting like a professional. You know, the professional that gets fired, but I'm still painting because I am not a professional, and that is why I'm not fired from my own car getting painted. And this might have saved me $5 to paint it myself as opposed to taking it to a professional shop to have painted, because I spent thousands of dollars buying guns and paint and chemicals and cleaning supplies and blah, 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 garbage everywhere. But there's something about painting your own stuff and doing your own car that's really rewarding. Plus, if it looks like crap, you know who did it, and you can't really yell at anyone, and so it keeps you more of a righteous person for not being so mad at others, right? That's a good way to look at it. So now that it's all primed, you can see my painting skills are just amazing. Look at it. It's amazing. It's all primed, so yay. And then, well, this is a moment of truth. Look at it now. That's some single stage white paint, and everything is painted. And I'm going to probably show you a couple of the flaws I put in this paint job because dorks do stupid things. So right here, you can see I have a goober where the tape didn't hold. Anger? Yes, lots of it. And right here, ooh, gross, I suck at taping. And a little bit over here and there, but you know what? Let's focus on the positive. It's red, it's white, it's beautiful. And this is how the car is going to turn into a two-toned red and white top, red bottom, white top. I love how it's looked at. It looks like a dang fire truck more and more, but it's not. It's not a fire truck. Stop thinking it's a fire truck. But now, I got to paint these other pieces. So this is the radiator support, the hinges, the cowl vent, the other brackets and such. So I put a rust stopper inhibitor convertifier thingy on them, like I did, and look, they turn black and disgusting. So after they're black and disgusting, you'll never guess what I did. Same procedure I always do. Paint them brown. Ready? That's the rust stopping paint on top of the other paint. So that basically helps the color line up, according to some YouTube nerds. Either way, I got to get this whole area cleaned out because you can see my fenders are also rust stopped, ready to get painted. But because it took weeks, I was told by the paint person, you can't just paint them. So I took some laundry soap in a bucket and scrubbed and washed them like a giant pair of dishes, every single part that I wanted to paint. So I scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed and cleaned and scrubbed and hosed and scrubbed. And after I washed them once, I will then take and put another coat of red primer on them, just to make sure that any spots of wood, there's wood in my car's fenders, any of the metal showing through is covered, so I wouldn't have any issues with rust on this stuff. So these fenders, hoods, everything have so many coats of paint. Now, I cleaned them out there, hoping to paint them out there, but I needed a paint booth, so I just put some tarps up. I have to go buy one for this end of the shop so I can seal it, because it was super windy. So now with all my tarps up, you can tell I've primered. Everything's gray now, so I went from the brown rusty color to grayed out primer, and oh my goodness, these fenders look so good except for rust. My friendly rust friend will be bondoed in friend. So I will soon have a friend called Master Bondo, and Master Bondo fixes a lot. But the hood looks really good. The fenders are looking really good. I primed the outside of them because I was like, well, why not? And I let it dry. I made them look pretty decent. And then, guess what I did? You'll never guess. You guessed. I flipped them over. And when I flipped them over, it was so that I could paint all the pieces. So I want to red paint, ruby red it. I'm going to ruby red this paint. You know, right in there, some ruby red. Boom. Make it all sexy because, you know, we're going to throw rocks at it. So no one really cares at all how it looks. And the hood, people are going to look at the motor, not the hood. I should be okay. And so, guess what I start doing? Yeah, I show you this stuff. And then, haha, I start mixing. And look at me mix. I'm mixing up what color? Ruby red single stage paint. I think I used 2 gallons of paint just painting this stupid thing. So many coats. And look at this. This is the piece that I think got the most paint out of all of it, because that or my wife got sick of videoing. But just look at it going from gray to red and spinning, and then I start spinning, and it makes you dizzy because you're kind of high from painting. But everything is good. Well, red. And in case you were curious, there's other positions I show you. And my wife even got bored watching me, so she went to the other stuff. That's the hood. She is so bored, she's like, I don't even care what he's painting. And okay, she started watching again. So now I'm painting the hood, and I'm so proud of myself because I didn't touch the hood, and then I touched the hood anyway a couple times because I'm an idiot on the other coats, but I only show you the good painting skills. I love watching this go from primer to red. And if you could see my eyes, they're probably bloodshot and stressed out like crazy because I'm so nervous to paint. Because everyone's going to see this. Well, all of you people who watch. So just painting. I love how it looks. I'm such a smooth dancing with the paint gun right there. It's like a romantic scene, but not really. I just love how it looks. Oh, all red. And it's going good. And in case you're curious, yes, I loved watching the hood get painted. And I think my wife got just bored to death and left, or high. I don't know which. And so you get to see it go red, but you don't get to see the other 2 coats I put on afterwards to hide it and all the runs that are in it. No one cares. This is underneath. This is no one sees. This is Jake learning how to paint stuff. Look at that. It's going red. I'm so excited. I know this video's long and you probably skip through it fast as you can go, but if you just watch it, you'll be seeing things I did. And like right up here, I'll show you this magic trick. It's called, I walked over here, I painted this right there, and you see that huge gray spot? Oh yeah, I was about to skip a huge gray spot. I think my wife's like, hey, you missed a spot. So I almost missed a 1 foot square of primed out steel. Yeah, I'm really good at painting. So now the other fender gets a little bit of paint, and guess what? It's the exact same process of a beautiful red laid out on an ugly gray. Oh, it's beautiful. Look at all those fumes, the overspray. Ah, this is beautiful. And guess what? I'm painting this piece again. So this is, I think, the 2nd or 3rd coat, and that's my wife saying, you're boring. But look how pretty they turned out. So I show you again how pretty they are because I was super proud. This one came out real good. Everything's looking real good. With this red, I mean, it's got runs. It's got everything you expect in a bad paint job. That's what I'm looking for in life. Bad paint to make everyone else on YouTube feel like theirs good painting somewhere other than their house. You know, this is the good kind of painting you can do in your backyard with a couple of tarps and, you know, a spray gun and the wrong filtration mask. You'll be just fine. So all these pieces get all painted. I'm super proud of my paint job. I don't care if you like it or not. I do want to know what you think. Comment on that. I love to know what you think of my paint job. But I got all these pieces painted, but these ones I painted black. They look red, but that's because they have a reflection. Yeah. These are black. Because I don't know, I thought it'd be cool. So then I took all the pieces out of the shop, and I put them out here, and I left them for like 8 days to just sit in the sun and dry, and I prayed it didn't rain, and guess what? Prayers are answered. We're in Arizona. It never rains. So those pieces sat out here and dried, and then I set up the inner fenders. You know, the stuff rocks get thrown at all daggum day. And a few other pieces I'd forgotten. And these inner fenders, guess what they're going to do? They were brown. Yeah, what do you think? Any guesses? Oh, yeah. They're gray. No, they're still brown. Now they're gray. So I took everything, put a couple coats of the gray primer on top of the brown primer, and I made all these fancy additional things to my car, paint stuff, and I then mixed up some red, and guess what? Everything I needed to paint has now been painted. You have made it to the end of Jake's boring painting video, where I paint all kinds of pieces poorly. Paint pieces poorly should be a tongue twister, but the next video we will start assembling all these pieces and put them on that car.